ideas expressed in this podcast are solely those of the authors and guests of the podcast. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Soberless Thoughts.
I'm Mike Odenbeck.
I'm Alex Gorley.
And these are our
Soberless Thoughts.
Hello and welcome to the most riveting podcast in the backyard of Erlanger, Kentucky. I'm Mike Odenbeck. That is Alex Gorley. And tonight we have no fucking topic, so it's going to be a topic about everything. And Alex brought me a pirate water, 10% alcohol.
Yeah.
And it's, hold on, is pirate water like the name of the company?
I believe so.
And then it's a Miami Vice is the flavor?
The flavor.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So we are currently, I've started.
Yes, you have.
But we need to really hit this home, is that I've been going around so far in northern Kentucky. Every bar I go into, the first thing I ask for is a Miami Vice. And so far, like 99% of the places won't even attempt to make it. Like they'll say, we don't have a blender.
Right.
But sorry, we can't do that. Or they'll say, like, or actually, the one place that they even attempted to make it was at Cheddar's.
Yeah.
And I believe the guy made it one on top of the other.
Yes.
I think he did the strawberry daiquiri on the bottom and the pina colada on top.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, like, the Miami Vice is the most obnoxious drink to ever order at any bar ever, unless you're on the beach. And, like, some places, like in Miami probably, like, they have those machines that just churn the pina colada and the strawberry daiquiri, and they literally just, like, I probably have a connector, like the soft serve where you got the vanilla and the chocolate and you got the one in the middle. They probably got that, right? But like to anybody else, because what you have to do is you have to make, especially most places only have like one blender. So you got to make a strawberry daiquiri or a pina colada first. I go pina colada first and then put it off to the side and hope to God it doesn't melt. And then make a strawberry daiquiri, and then hope to God you made them the same consistency and density, density, and then you have to pour them side by side to make that perfect line in the middle. I have attempted this so many times. Ask me how many times I've got it.
How many times
None.
have you got it?
I've never got it. It's always just dog shit where it's like half of the strawberry daiquiri is sitting underneath the pina colada, and then there's a weird like river of a squiggle going up the side. Or I've done like your boy over there and just did half on top and half on the bottom. I've done that.
Yeah. On purpose?
Yeah, because I said fuck these things. Because I did exactly, somebody made it and I made it, and this person came in every day for a week and ordered one, and every day I tried, and it was just, I just got fed up by the end of the week. I go, fuck it, and it's half and half this way. I just flat out told him, I was like, I just can't do it. I was like, we make the pina coladas from scratch, and the strawberry daiquiri is like strawberry puree, and the two are just not dense, and it's either I make one too dense, and I can't get it out of the fucking blender. Yeah, it's just such a pain in the ass.
Such a pain in the ass.
So we're trying to find the best one in Cincinnati.
So the point is, we're trying to find the best Miami Vice in the greater Cincinnati area. If you know that your bar makes a fantastic Miami Vice, email us at soberlessthoughts@gmail.com. We're going to go to that bar and we're going to order a Miami Vice, and we're going to see just how fantastic it really is. Because so far, I'm striking the fuck out.
Yeah, dude.
I'm striking out. Getting nothing.
Like, I'm surprised bartenders haven't pulled you aside, like, who told you? Who let out the secret? It was me.
A lot of places, like I said, as soon as I even mention Well, the first thing I'll even say when I walk in is, do you guys have a blender? Because if they right away say, no, we don't have a blender, then I'm like, all right, well, never mind, then I won't even ask.
Right.
But, I'll tell you what, a lot of places don't have a blender.
Well, yeah. You got to go to either, like I say, beachy, or you got to go to like corporate, because corporate is not going to let that blender be broke, right?
Right.
And they're going to make their bartenders at least try to make you happy, because that's all they care about is happy customers and low labor costs, right? But a hole-in-the-wall bar, even if they have a blender, they're going to look at you and walk over and unplug the blender and go, we ain't got a blender, bro. And the owner is going to go, valid.
Right. Right. It makes sense.
Yeah.
What is it, TGI Fridays? One of those places they promote that they have the best bartenders.
It's TGI Fridays.
Is that it?
Yep.
So that's where I need to go.
That would be a good one, because I think they have like 2 blenders.
Yeah, and be like, okay, I need a Miami Vice.
Yeah. Yeah, because they send theirs to like the competitions, and like, you know, like there was one in Lexington that we used to go drink at, and they were like, one of their bartenders had gone to a competition, and it was like they definitely would bring it up.
This is very sweet.
Yeah.
This is Pirate Water Miami Vice.
Yeah, I was thinking that was going to be a seltzer, and the more I read about it, I was like, it says it's a malted beverage with natural and artificial flavors. Something color. Artificial colors, and can't read the side of that off this picture. Certified color. Wow. So yeah, it's a malted beverage. Malt liquor.
Like a Mickey's?
Sure.
Dude, I used to, when I was in my very early 20s, I just thought Mickey's was a cool name for a alcoholic drink. I guess because it's close to Mikey, which is what I went by back then.
Right. And
so I would drink Mickey's a lot, and people would just look at me like, that's disgusting, man. And I'm like, yeah, it don't taste that great.
Right. Some old Englishman.
So it's not that great, actually.
Like, I drink it and I feel like I'm going to die.
Yeah. I'm like, I wonder why I have headaches all the time.
Right.
All right. This thing. It's got so much going on. Have you had one of these yet?
No.
It's got so much going on flavor-wise. But it makes me... It's just so sweet, though. It's like definitely a dessert type of alcohol. And it's going to make me want to regret going back to this IPA afterwards. For sure. Because, dude, there's a thing about IPAs where they're just like, they've got this bitterness.
Yeah.
And it's the opposite of sweet.
Yes.
But if you eat something sweet while you're drinking an IPA, it makes that IPA almost unbearable.
Yeah.
You almost can't drink it, period.
Yeah.
Like if you're... Dude, so after drinking this baby, and then I go back to this guy, I don't know. I'm glad I got a big open area over here that I can just spit out into if I need to.
You're going to hawk a loogie?
I don't think I'll throw up.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I will. Let's see how late tonight goes.
Yeah, buddy.
So before we hit record on this, we were talking about... actually, you were talking about a coworker of yours who is in a band. And is it like a metal band?
Yeah, it's a heavy metal band.
A heavy metal band. What's the name of that band?
The name of the band was Bloodgate.
Bloodgate.
I believe that's what it was. But here's the funny part. Yeah, so what happened was I found out that they have this band, and I went to listen to it, and I typed it into iTunes because it's on iTunes.
Yeah.
Just to kind of give it a listen. Like they're a little bit of a local band, you know. But if you want to give them a look, Bloodgate. If you like heavy metal. But the problem is when I typed it in, sometimes like it filled in for me, and it typed in Blood Good.
Oh, Blood is good.
And then there's this band that I guess is from it sounds like the 80s, to be completely honest with you. So I think it was an 80s band. So I'm listening to this thing thinking, because the other, it was actually another person that referenced this other person's band who's like, hey, did you know they have a band? I'm like, no. I was like, what is it? I'll go listen to it, because we're kind of big into music. So I typed it in, not paying attention. It said Blood Good, and then I start playing it on Top of the Mountain, and it is like so 80s. And I'm waiting for like, because like the other guy was like talking, he's like, yeah, man, I mean, you know, if you like those hard drops with the like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for that to drop at any second, but it's like every 80s ballad. I'm like, maybe they just have a different understanding of what metal is. Maybe they just didn't understand. It was this is what I was listening to. Just that little clip. Oh, stop. Don't want to get taken off YouTube. But yeah, I'm listening to that. I'm like, okay, this is not what I thought was going to happen.
Right.
But yeah, Bloodgate is way different.
Yeah. Bloodgate.
Yeah.
Bloodgate.
But yeah.
So I thought of a band name. So I'm going to do like a bunch of different variety types of music. Like you and I are going to have a comedy band called the Koozies.
Right.
And then I want to have a country band or like a southern rock bluesy type band called the Mississippi Black Snakes.
Yeah.
And then I want to have like a hard rock metal band that's called Wolf Heist.
Wolf Heist. Huh. That's interesting. That sounds like a metal band.
Right. Yeah.
Sounds like a heavy fucking band. Yeah. But the funny thing is, I'm thinking metal, but I'm thinking like Viking metal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They
Very
yell
throaty.
Valhalla a lot in a song.
Maybe.
Wolf Heist.
Lots of references to lightning and shit.
Yeah, fucking Odin. Odin. The funny thing, so I feel like at the brewery we always talked about starting a band and call it Waterhammer.
Okay.
Because it's like a brewery reference, where basically when you have water flowing and you don't have a pathway for it, it will slam into, like if you have water going to a pump and it will slam into the pump because you don't have the pump going, it'll make this god-awful knock noise that was just like doom. You're like, oh shit, let me turn that on, right? Yeah. And that's what we call a water hammer.
Okay.
So fucking water hammer.
Water hammer.
Yeah.
It's very liquidy.
Yeah.
But has good bass tones to it.
Right. Trying to think. I thought of some other band names, but
I have a lot of music out right now that I wrote and recorded when I was in my late teens and early 20s under the name Oscar Diggs.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what Oscar Diggs is, that's the full name of the Wizard of Oz. And it's everything. It's rock music, it's a couple country songs, it's some rap stuff. I didn't know what I was doing.
It's all right, man.
I didn't know.
None of us do.
It's all songs that are basically riffs off of dick jokes.
Yeah. I like it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The whole catalog. The whole catalog. Anyways, my wife loves that music.
I bet.
Not really. I don't know if she's ever even really listened to it ever. Maybe when we first started dating, and I was like, oh yeah, I used to make music. And she's like, oh, let me hear some of it. And I'm like, do you really want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the type you're thinking.
Like, and she's like, why would you sing about that?
Right. I mean, I have comedy songs that I've definitely wrote that same thing. I've performed some of them. Some of them will never see the light of day.
Dude, I got all that shit out there on SoundCloud, I think.
Yeah.
There's some videos actually on YouTube.
Yeah.
Of Oscar Dig songs. There's like 4 or 5 of them on YouTube that I made little videos to.
Man, it's so every time I hear Oscar Diggs, it makes me giggle because right before I met you, I was living in Lexington, and there was a food truck that just came out, and its name was Oscar Diggs. And it was a burger. Yeah.
Shit. You're stealing my shit, man.
I know. They actually have pretty good burgers. I think they actually have a legit restaurant now.
As good as my burgers? No. I have perfected the back porch burger.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I just thought of a band. Well, one, the back porch burger. That'll be my dad band.
Oh yeah.
Or
dude, the Koozies is our dad band.
Yeah. I joked around and told my nephews this, or not my nephews, they're my cousins. I told them, I was like, I'm gonna start a band called Lawnmower Shoes. And I was kind of just kidding around, and then they asked me recently, like, how's your dad band going, the Lawnmower Shoes? I'm like, dude, I was messing around, man. I was trying to get some buddies that I used to be in a band with in high school, and be like, see if hey, do you all just want to write some music, and I'll throw you the riff, and then you can just we'll just figure a way to record it separately, and we'll just smash it together later.
Dude, all we have to do is find a drummer.
I know a drummer. I know a couple, actually.
We'll just get a drummer. Do you have a good bass guitar?
I do.
I'll just do some easy chords on the bass. You can play the guitar. We'll do our Brooks and Dunn duet vocals.
Brooks and Dunn. Wow, what a reference.
Yeah. Dude, I wrote this song about that I wrote specifically for the Koozies, even though we don't exist yet.
Yeah.
And it's about a crumb that got stuck in a beard, like a long, how some of these hillbillies have these long beards?
Hell yeah.
So it's a crumb that got stuck in the beard, and it's the crumb singing the song. It's the point of view of the crumb, and he was in love with another crumb that had also been dislodged in the beard, right?
Yeah.
And then the guy combed his beard one day and got that one other crumb out of the so it's he's missing his other crumb.
Yeah.
In the beard.
That's funny.
It's a heartbreaking song.
I do have a comedy song that's kind of similar to that, where I tried to write a love song between a man and a cell phone, and it's just to make fun of how people are obsessed with them. Oh, and yeah. Basically he dropped the cell phone in the toilet. And yeah. he's heartbroken.
Dude, that'll ruin your entire year.
Right.
Easily.
I've only gotten the chorus so far, but I can't get the verses. I don't know why. It's been fucking with me for years.
And I want to do I wrote a song called All I Want to Do Is Screw. And I titled it All I Want to Do, and then in parentheses at the end, or not parentheses, but the brackets.
Yeah.
is, you know how songs do that?
Right.
Is all I want to do, and then is screw at the end. But I can't seem to get I'm going to have to, like, mouth the guitar riff that is in my head for when the chorus starts, because I can't seem to get it right on I do like electronic music,
Yeah.
and every time I try to get the notes right and get everything organized right, and I just can't get it how it sounds in my head.
I got the perfect person to help us with this.
Okay.
He's actually a guy I work with, but he's like, he definitely would be a great producer. Like, he has an ear for these things, and like he walks around and like will hear notes and goes, I think that's a G sharp. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, it's a G sharp. Like, he does that. He would be the perfect person to sit down with to unwind that music out of your head and put it onto something.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it would take me a little bit where I would have to play with my guitar and just have you hum it and then just try to find it.
Right.
I'm like,
yeah,
he could make the magic work.
Right.
Also, talking about the koozies, as we were sitting here, I thought of a song of it's basically like they don't call them love handles for nothing.
Got to give them something to hold on to.
Yeah, man. I was like,
right.
that's a good one. They don't call them love handles for nothing.
Oh yeah. I did write a song. It was like more of a country song, but it was just called 12-ounce curls.
Nice.
And it was about like how you don't have, like, basically it's like a total bro song about how he's like always walking around with sleeveless shirts on and shit, and he's like, I don't have to go to the gym because I got my 12-ounce curls, and he's always showing off his biceps for the girls.
Yeah.
And all this other shit. Hell yeah, dude. He times his at one part in the song he's talking about how he time, because it's all like gym related and like workout related, you know.
Yeah.
And then he times his 40-yard dash from the recliner to the fridge and back. Or no, the shuttle run. It was the shuttle run.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. Yeah, man. Anyways, I don't know. Nobody wants to hear this shit.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that. I was like, man, everybody's like, man, they're just talking songs and shit, man.
Anyways, we've been gone for we haven't put out an episode in like a month.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute. And now that it's cooling off, we can relax a little bit.
Right.
Take a deep breath and get some soberless thoughts out to you guys, because you know what is coming up, Alex.
Is it?
It's October.
It's that time of year.
Coming up. October is coming up. And what do we do every October?
We want to survive.
The How to Survive series every October. Every Friday of October, we bring you a new episode of how to survive a certain whatever it is. It can be, in the past, it was vampires, werewolves, a black widow.
Yeah.
We did all kinds of shit. We've done all kind. Just go through our catalog. If you're watching us on YouTube, you have to find the podcast. You have to go to like iTunes or Apple Podcasts or Google Play or something like that, and Spotify. Everything's on Spotify, and you can go back to all of our old October episodes where we talked about the how to everything. Just Google search or go into a podcast app and search how to survive, and at least one of our episodes was, because we got 20 of them out there.
At least. I mean, they're all over the place.
So anyways, we're gonna be brainstorming on what our how to survives are going to be this year, and then also on Halloween night, the plan is we're going to put out a very special video of Alex and I on the most haunted road in all of Kentucky.
Yeah.
The most haunted road of all of Kentucky. We are going to go check it out for you guys. That'll be out Halloween night. And you can find out what happens to us if we survive or not.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Everything goes well. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. We shall see. We have we've got a little over a month to prepare for that. Alex, you think that's good idea, us just
wandering down a...
Should we, are we going to wear some kind of like reflective vests or something if we're walking on this road in the middle of the night?
Probably should. Be like those, I don't even see, I don't know if you're up this early, but I'm usually up this late. You see the dudes or the just people that will be wearing like the strobe lights on their hats, or their vests will be like flashing the entire time, like they're having a little rave party as they're running down the street. We can wear that.
My biggest concern is just a group of coyotes. Yeah, you get 15 coyotes come running at you at once.
How many do you think we could take? How many do you think you could take before you go down?
Well, a few of them at least.
Yeah.
They're not that big.
No, they're little scrawny things.
Yeah. I think I could snap one's neck if I
could
had
definitely kick the shit. Field goal one. Or two.
I'd probably could field goal at least. I could punt one of them.
Right.
For sure. But as I punt one of them, there'll probably be three more jumping on top of me.
Right.
And then I just got to start breaking necks.
Yeah.
Gouging eyes. I'll be biting back.
Do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we'll do. How to survive a pack of coyotes.
I don't hate it. What's that Liam Neeson movie where he did that with the wolves?
I don't know. I know White or something.
Yeah. Brave, White, something.
Brave White.
I don't know.
White and Brave. That'll get you canceled. White and Brave will get you canceled.
The Gray.
The Gray, yeah. Wasn't even White or Brave. God.
I think me and you both saw his face and was just throwing shit underneath it. It was the something.
Oh, yeah. Dude, here's something that I want to talk about.
All right.
Completely unrelated to everything else that we were just talking about. Can you imagine if 10, 15 years ago, all of the shit that has came out in the last year about the disclosure of aliens.
No.
How the world would be flipping the fuck out.
Right.
And today, nothing.
Yeah, they don't give a rat's ass.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
Mexico, just days ago,
Yep.
pulled out these bodies that they had. They're like 1,000-year-old alien specimens. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
99% of the shit that you see is like, oh, well, they're just fake.
Right.
They're fake. Like, they're official government.
Yeah. Came out and was like, hey, we've had these.
Yeah, not only have we had these, like we've done all these analysis on them, we've done the x-rays, MRIs, the whole nine, and here's all the scientific data work that we've done on them.
Right.
Showing like their skeletal system and the whole fucking nine.
Yeah, which that was wild. I don't know if anybody's heard that. Like, it has like round ribs that like connect all the way around.
Yeah.
And the spine was like connected, and its head was like it had like a retractable, like it could like a tortoise. It could do that. But like way more.
Right.
So it's,
yeah, to see up around them fucking bushes and shit that it's hiding behind.
Right.
It's so fucking tiny.
Yeah, I forgot too. It was like stuck in some. I can't remember. It was a deoscillated Earth, or whatever. Diatomaceous Earth. Diatomaceous Earth. Something like that.
Right.
And that's what preserved it. But it's also like it's also like dried the fuck out.
Yeah, it's like mummified.
Right.
Yeah.
And it has like weird eye-shaped holes, and they're like, it could be small eyes, or it just could have been the mumming process, but yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, and it's just, it's nothing. It's been debunked.
Yeah.
If you go on Snopes right now, it'll say it was debunked, and they won't give you any reason why.
Yeah. They're just like, it can't be. It just can't be.
But it is. Yeah. It's happening right now.
I mean, they've definitely like the different generational reaction. Like, this is the perfect generation to do it with. Like, our parents, they would have freaked out. Their parents would have definitely freaked out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, of course, then they probably would be like, it's the Russians! And then,
probably would have been.
yeah, and then, they, like us with all our sci-fi movies and shit, they're just like, I mean, that's cool, but like, I'm trying to start like a clothing brand.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a makeup company out, which is like TGF the best.
TGF the best.
Yeah, I don't know. What's TGF? Thank God Friday?
Thank God it's Friday. That's TGIF.
Yeah. The Great For Reals.
The Great For Reals. I like it.
The Great For Reals.
Another great band name.
Yeah. It almost sounds like a clown, too. Welcome to the Great... Welcome, the Great For Reals.
Electronic clown music. It's fucking amazing.
If it's like electric, like 80s electric, with some like raving shit over top of it.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a whole playlist of nothing but that.
Clown music.
80s synth bass drop clown music.
Fuck yes.
Trance.
Yeah.
Dude, sounds sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That's what aliens listen to.
Yeah, dude. That's what they come here for.
There's a movie out there, some kind of sci-fi movie where, like, that's what they talk about, is that's why aliens came to Earth, is because we have this creative gene that most of the universe doesn't have, and we create like this paintings and art and all music and all this other shit that doesn't exist elsewhere in the universe.
Yeah.
I don't know what movie that is, but I think it's bullshit.
I like it. It's in like my artistic part of me is like, I like that. That's a nice wholesome, like, it gives us unique. I mean, it's probably not true, but like, it just makes us feel unique and special is what that movie does.
Yeah.
I like to think they come here for our culinary food.
Our culinary food, yeah.
Or
it's the vaginas.
Yeah, right. This is just a big whorehouse to them.
It's just the vaginas.
Yeah, they're like, well, I mean, you know what it is. This is what I was thinking of. I saw a movie clip about, it was like an alien race talking to humans, and it was like the aliens were like, they vaguely looked like us, but they had like weird shit on their face, and they were saying like
Klingons.
Yeah, kind of. Definitely Star Trek-ish, but it was basically like, you know, they were like, you know, we want to send like an organism to Earth to essentially overtake the entire Earth and destroy its atmosphere and destroy all the living beings and destroy all this and be a plague so we could come in and just take all the resources. And then the human's like, when do you plan on doing this? And he's like, what makes you think we haven't? It's like, do you think it's weird that the humans just started to exist? It's like, do you think it's weird we have similar genomes or whatever? And it's basically like what you end up finding out. It's like they basically made humans and like manipulated their genes to be more aggressive when it came to mating and less empathetic to other things. And so basically the human race was the plague this alien race sent here to get ready to come in and take all the resources.
Well, we've talked about this before. We are 100% an invasive species.
Yeah.
For sure. If you look at any quote-unquote invasive species that gets introduced into a population of wildlife anywhere on this planet and what it does to that genome,
yeah,
that's exactly what we have done to this planet on a large macro scale.
Right.
I have multiple beers in me now. I feel great.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done it like this. We've been doing it in like the middle of the day where me and him are like I can't drink. You got like this is like the first one we've been back. We're back, baby.
I just said a lot of words that I didn't even know I was going to say before I said them.
Right.
Well, I can tell you. I got one. Now come to me, baby, when the sun goes down. Knock on my door 3 times when no one's around. My days are long and ever so long, but in the evenings when I want you only, the window's open now, so come on right in. I've been awaiting since 9:45. The way you move now and making me shudder, 'cause no one loves me like my late night lover. I heard you creeping in my garden last week. I tried and tried but couldn't get no sleep. The wind was blowing something sweet in the air, the scent of something that I want you to share, 'cause you're my late night lover. One by one the stars come out in the sky. That's when I lock my doors and turn down the light. And each and every night I let my hair down, just the way you like, in case you're coming around. Now the moon shining bright behind my windows amaze, but I'll keep waiting till I see your face. Come on, baby, we got lots to uncover, 'cause no one loves me better than my late night
just earlier today, there's this conspiracy that's being floating around about how Bigfoot, aliens, angels, demons, ghosts, they're all the same thing. They're all the same entity or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That we don't know, we've never seen before, we can't conceive.
Right.
So, and basically what this works off of is that all of us, everything that we see is basically what we talk about a lot in the earlier episodes of this podcast, is our perception of reality.
Yeah.
And all these different things are just what our beliefs are. Say you're Catholic. You see this thing, and all of a sudden, what you actually see, what you perceive, is a demon. Okay? But say you're an atheist. You see the exact same thing. But what you perceive is a Bigfoot,
right,
or an alien or something like that. But in reality, it's all the same thing.
Right.
What do you think about that?
Seems like a party pooper. It's somebody that just wants to shit on everything and just like, it's all the same thing. You're all dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I get it. Like, it's the mind can do fickle things. Like, it's just like you see something, you interpret it as what you know at the time. Then more than one person sees it from the same community that all are, I don't know, like tuberculosis with fucking vampires. Like,
right.
Next thing you know, everyone's like, fucking vampires. Like, you know, and then a whole culture revolves around it. And
you think that vampires didn't exist in pop culture before tuberculosis hit?
oh, I'm sure it did. Wasn't that like the reason though? Like, wasn't that like the big when it became like famous? Was that what it was?
There was a big, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
tuberculosis was a huge deal. When
I was making sure wasn't getting up my plagues or diseases mixed up. Where I was like, was it that one or is it like something else? Like,
because it was around that time frame when Dracula was wrote and all that stuff.
yeah.
Still
Still blows my mind that Dracula and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein was written in the same house at the same time.
Yeah.
By two different people, all on a contest, and they were drinking. Like,
Yeah.
it's fucking crazy to me.
A drinking contest.
Yeah. Like,
a drinking game, basically.
right. They're all drinking, and they go, I bet you we could write, like, rich people doing rich people shit.
Right.
Like, we're bored, and we don't have to worry about anything, and it's the turn of the century. If I can...
Yeah, this is back when people would vacation for months at a time.
Right.
It wasn't one night.
Right.
It was a vacation season.
Right. Yeah, it was just one night they all got drunk and challenged each other to tell ghost stories, and then they vaguely did it, and then they're like, we could do better. Come back in 2 or 3 days. So they all just kind of like part ways in this mansion of a house. I'm sure they're still interacting, but then they're all just like if you do that shit today, like, I feel like you would have to be friends with nothing but writers. We'd be like, all right, everyone here write a ghost story. We're all going to meet up in a week and see what we got.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
If you and your wife, and me and my wife, and our in-laws,
Yeah.
all went on vacation together, Florida, let's say,
Yeah.
for a week and a half. A week.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, every day we're going to go do a bunch of other shit, but every day we got to dedicate an hour to 2 hours of writing. And we got to see who comes up with the best story.
Yeah.
We're all going to be creative writers on this vacation. I know you, me, our father-in-law,
Yeah.
my wife, probably your wife,
Yeah.
we can all come up with some pretty fucking creative stories that we can write out,
Yeah.
given a week and a half to write it.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, but also you think it like, I bet you it wasn't just a day or so, because you gotta think like when those people vacationed, like they would,
That's
they would
why I
go
said it
somewhere
was a
like,
vacation season.
yeah, and it was like they're in this giant house, but it's not like they're like, hey, I'm going to town to go to the water park. It was like, we're here. They're like, well, today I'm gonna walk through the garden and like draw bugs.
Right.
Whatever the fuck they did back then.
Yeah.
Just have their thoughts. You know, before cell phones,
Yeah.
you have that thought recently where
Before
like
cell phones.
you're like
Before electricity.
I don't remember what it was like not to stimulate my brain with fucking media.
Dude, it was before electricity.
Yeah.
A lot of times it was before indoor plumbing.
Hey, well, two things. One's fucked up, one's not. Did you know that people used to like wake up in the middle of the night? Like I forget what they call it. It was like the witching hour or whatever, but like people would sleep 3 hours, wake up and like eat, and this is where they'd get their reading done and writing, and then they would go back to sleep after like 2 or 3 hours. And then that's how like sleeping was traditionally done, like in those times. So when you always see those pictures of the writer like with the candle lit, because everyone went to bed when the sun went down. So then, like, in the middle of the night, everyone just got up and then fucked around. And then, like, you know, you see those writers with their writing with a quill at, like, candlelight and reading shit. And then after a couple hours, they'd put it down and go back to sleep. I just saw a thing about this the other day, and it blew my mind.
No, I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this, but I like it.
Yeah. It was,
Because you can get that, it's like being in a shower. That's when your creative juices are flowing.
yeah.
It's like when you're half of a fifth deep in some bourbon. You got some really good creative juices flowing. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't even remember what the other thing. Oh, did you see the thing about speaking of like that era and whatever? Did you see the thing about Benjamin Franklin's house where they redid it and they found like
Oh, yeah, his house in England?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like fucking 15 dead bodies in the basement buried or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Fucking-
there's two options there. There's two options.
yeah,
So either one, and this is the more commonly, this is the mainstream narrative, is that Benjamin Franklin was basically teaching anatomy,
yeah,
and they would go grave robbing, and they would pull up which was a common practice back then.
right. But they could still get in trouble for it.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it was common practice.
Yeah,
It was illegal, but they did it all the time.
right. Like weed.
Right. And so they think that that's probably, I mean, that's like that's the main narrative of what.
Right.
Or he was a serial killer.
Yeah.
Or he was a serial killer.
Yeah. I'm waiting on the podcast.
So,
By the
still
way,
working on dialing down the evidence on the serial killer portion.
yeah. I
Hold on. When did Benjamin Franklin live?
are you thinking he's Jack the Ripper? I gotta be honest, that was the first thing I thought of too when I saw that. I'm like, oh,
baby.
I mean, he would have surgical precision,
Yeah.
but you think that big bald head and glasses coming at you?
No, he'd have a hat on.
True.
You know, guys, if a guy with a hairline like that always wears a hat.
I don't know, it just seems like he repped it. He just so the thing about the sleep, the forgotten medieval habit of two sleeps is what it was.
Okay.
This is from the BBC, which is British Broadcasting whatever, not the other one. I think that every time I was like, BBC, The news one.
The news one.
Yeah. So for millennia, people slept in 2 shifts, once in the evening and once in the morning. But why? How come the habit disappeared? And they thought it was actually the Industrial Revolution. I remember that. That what stopped it, because people like worked from here to here, and they had to get the sleep in. But yeah, they would like sleep first thing when the sun went down. They'd wake up and they'd get some shit done, and then, and then go sleep more in the morning. And I'm like, I'm gonna bring that back.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Really.
If I could do it, I can't physically do that. Like, I just can't. Once I'm up, I'm up. Or it's maybe I'm wired that way.
No.
I need 2 or 3 hours to go back to sleep.
Yeah, you're up. But after you do a couple hours worth of stuff,
Yeah,
you're ready to go back to bed.
that's true. Today was one of them. I went to bed at 6, woke up at 11:30, which is about 5 hours. And I could not go back to sleep. Laid in bed. I've been having weird dad fantasies about living out of an RV out on my farm.
Okay.
And for some reason, it lets me go to sleep.
Wow.
I'm just opening up to you.
Okay.
It's just something like, it all started with me going like, my parents have this farm, and I'm like, what could I do to it? Like, how could I use it? It's always a ever-burning question in the back of my head of like, how can I utilize this land? How can I make money off of it? And then one day I go, well, when the fuck would you ever do it? And I was like, I would have to like live out there. And then it just turned into me like living out of an RV or a van, like van life, hashtag. And then I was like, I would have to like live out there and just like rebuild this whole damn farm to actually use it.
Do you ever feel like you can control your dreams? Like your dream is going a certain direction.
Yeah.
And you consciously, still sleeping, realize the direction your dream is going, and you make a conscious decision to change the direction of that dream mid-dream and start dreaming about either something else, or you change the direction that dream is going in.
At times.
Because I feel like I've done that before.
Sometimes I'm watching a movie that it's literally I'm watching a movie, I'm watching things unfold, or there's ones where it's like I'm not asleep and I'm not awake, and I'm in that in between stage.
Yeah.
That's when I feel like I've controlled things where I'm like, let's do this, and I can like almost like whisper into my own brain like, if I can throw a Ferrari in here.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck yeah, Ferrari. That's where we need.
Alexander Gorley, the dream whisperer.
Yeah.
I see it.
Fucking kind of old hag yourself.
For sure. Oh, yeah. My wife has the craziest dreams.
Yeah.
She's always dreaming about, she's always having nightmares about the worst things you can think of.
Yeah.
So just today, she goes into this story about, I had this horrible dream and XYZ happened. It was involved me with like her ex's wife, and like me trying to set her up with her ex.
Yeah.
And while I'm like banging the ex's wife, and like this whole weird thing going on. And then she has this whole, story of it, of what her dream was. And I'm like, I also had a dream last night. And she's like, yeah? And I'm like, yeah. I was in the desert, and I was dreaming about, it was me and a whole group of guys, and we were strapped to the core. And what we were doing was, we were hunting the Roadrunner. And she's like, oh, really? Like the cartoon, the Roadrunner? And I was like, yes. And we were also cartoons.
Yeah.
And I was watching this unfold in my dream like you would watch a movie or a cartoon or something.
Right.
And because I was like, it was like third person perspective of me, and I was very buff and camo, guns ablazing everywhere.
Yeah.
And like 5 other guys. And we were out in the desert, and we were hardcore going to go, and we were going to catch us that Roadrunner.
Yeah.
And we never even seen it. The whole hunting trip, we didn't even see it one time.
Yeah.
But we had a blast. And that was my entirety of my dream. And she has this nightmare about, you know, me and her and another couple.
Right.
And it's like, and over here I'm dreaming that I'm a cartoon character chasing the fucking Roadrunner.
Right. I know what you mean. I've also woken up with my wife looking at me like, you dirty son of a bitch. Like, what did I do in your dream?
Right.
Also, side note, this is before I go into that, do you normally dream in first person or third person? Because I feel like I always tend to dream, majority of the time, unless it's a nightmare, in third person.
Like 99% of the time, it's third person for me. I feel like with my wife, it's first person.
Yeah.
At least
that's
all
the worst.
At least all the stories that she tells me, it sounds first person when she tells it. But I always dream third person.
See,
it's like I'm watching a movie.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
It's same, like the last time I had a first person dream, I was playing like a lot of Dead by Daylight. Was that what it's called? It was a video game where essentially like there was like 4 or 5 survivors, and there was like one crazy monster serial killer basically, and they're all the killers are like roughly based off of like Freddy Krueger or like Jason, or like, you know, they all have like their weird little things, and they have powers and they can track people and yada. Well, anyway, this guy I worked with, we got to playing it. Well, I decided I want to play this other one that didn't get the licensing, but they made the fucking game anyway. That was Friday the 13th. So I started playing it like a week every day. I was playing it just a little bit, being a survivor, just trying to learn how to survive. Like the third night, I had a dream Jason Voorhees was chasing me, and it was like the first person where I'm like, I also noticed when I'm punching someone in first person, it's like marshmallows. I'm going like, rah! Giving everything I got, and it's just,
Yeah.
and then, you know, like he's like grabbing me by my fucking throat, slamming me into a wall, throwing me through a window, and I'm just like, fuck.
Dude, everything in my dreams, it was like so overly exaggerated, like a Marvel movie or something.
Yeah.
And it's like something that I would for sure be murdered. I would for sure be murdered.
Yeah,
but
I wasn't
just
making it
come
out of that
back
dream.
And I'm like, like not a bruise on me.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's go.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he kicked the shit out of me, and I was still going. Like, threw me through a fucking wall. Where I'm like, dude, my back would be broke. But
for sure.
But every time I tried to fight, fucking marshmallow hands. And it was just, and I was like, I couldn't do. And I was trying to run and yada yada.
I had this dream one time where I was like trying to flirt with this girl, and I like was striking out hardcore.
Yeah.
And it was one of those times where I consciously realized what my dream was doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, why am I striking out? Like, I remember thinking, like, why
are you doing this to yourself?
Like, waking up in the middle of the night, like, why am I making myself be such a loser? Like, get back in there, man.
Yeah.
Get back in there, man. And I fell back asleep. And I was like, and I remember just having this confidence in my dream and just be like, I don't know what I was trying to talk about earlier, but we need to go out, or whatever the fuck I said.
Right.
And she's like, oh, wow, you're so different now.
Yeah. Wow, you're so confident all of a sudden. I know. Dude, have you heard the thing? This was like one of those like TikTok videos, just like, when you're in a dream, do not tell yourself this. Like, if it was something like, if you're in a dream, you can tell yourself it's a dream, but don't tell the other people in the dream it's a dream.
Like the Inception thing?
Yeah, because like somebody said it's because the things that you're hitting on or doing whatever to are like part of your own subconscious, and they don't know that you're dreaming right now. And other people thought it's because, like fucking maybe you're connected to another universe, and the people you see in your dreams are other people sleeping in their dreams, but through a different lens or universe or whatever. And when you try to tell another person, like if you go, holy shit, I'm in a dream, you'll either wake up or you'll take control, and you're like, all right, I need I don't know, I need a Ferrari, I need a fucking like a jug of whiskey, and I need my wife in some booty shorts. Like, let's fucking go, right?
Yeah.
And but if you try to tell like like a random stranger that you don't know, like if you were hitting on that girl and be like, hey, by the way, you do know this is a dream, they will turn violent and attack you. That's what I saw a thing on, and I'll go,
I know, right?
man, that's a hard, like, they're like, fucking, I feel like it'll be do you ever see, what's that fucking movie? You know that movie where the guy who's like a kid and he kept seeing like the weird nanny nurse, and then like he goes to sleep and it's, what the fuck is that movie called?
The weird nanny nurse?
Yeah, it's like old woman, and then he goes to the world of the dead essentially, and like they're just like reliving their.
Is it a scary movie?
Yeah.
Is it like Insidious?
Yes, Insidious.
Okay.
It's like that. Like, you don't want to tell those people like they're dead.
There's several spin-offs of Insidious.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's like 3 or 4 Insidiouses now.
Well, there's spin-offs of
that,
of the characters that he sees in the dead world.
Yeah.
So Slender Man was from Insidious, and now there's The Nun.
I was going to ask that. So the Nun's from that too.
And The Nun is from Insidious.
Yeah.
And there's a Nun 2 coming out now.
Yeah. I've been seeing that.
Yeah.
Since we're in the era of horror movies, what do you think of the new one where they grab the hand and you go, talk to me, and they do that shit? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You don't know what movie? Oh, dude, I've heard that movie is the tits.
It's the tits.
Yeah. The
handshake.
It might be called Talk to Me, but yeah, it's like, it's a weird, like it's like a bust of just a hand. It's like doing this, and it's like holding it, and basically you walk up to it, and like people are making a party game out of it, where like all these teenagers are like, yeah, it's called Talk to Me, and basically, like, you grab a hold of it, and there's all these people that have written on it, and you go, talk to me, and then all of a sudden it like grabs you, and you like get taken to fucking, I don't know, hell, fucking Pandora, what's the purgatory, like just some kind of god awful hellish nightmare place.
Yeah.
And like they're testing to see how long you can stay there, and they're making a game out of it, and like they're videotaping, putting it online, and it's just like, so then one of them, they're like, how
do you snap out of it?
You just come back, or they wake you up or something like that, or you decide to come back. But they said no one's ever made it past 40 seconds, and then some girl does, and obviously like kind of like the Lazarus effect, like something came back with her, and then so she's like losing her fucking mind.
That's the Lazarus effect? Something came back with her?
I think so. Lazarus, or
I don't think that's the Lazarus effect. Is that the Lazarus effect?
Lazarus
is
Project.
The guy who... Lazarus is the zombie, the first zombie.
Yeah, but there was a movie called The Lazarus Effect from 2015. Movie Nerd. Lazarus Effect, fantasy horror movie, basically where kind of like the Flatliners from the 80s. You remember that movie?
Oh yeah.
So similar thing. They're killing themselves and bringing themselves back to life, and they're testing to see how long they could stay out. And the Lazarus effect is one of them stayed out so long, then came back. They didn't come back alone, or they didn't come back. It wasn't them that came back; something else came back, kind of thing. It's the same kind of premise.
Flatliners is a good ass movie.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I think I don't remember Flatliners the full. Like I'm thinking that's what that was about, or something like that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's been so long since I've seen it.
Yeah, they were all medical students, and they'd meet up down in the morgue.
Yeah,
and that's what they would do is they'd kill them. They'd kill somebody. They'd kill one of their group, and then they would shock them back.
Right.
And after so many minutes or whatever, and they were trying to figure out what happens when you die.
Right.
Fucking wild.
I know. So,
dude, I would never.
No, fuck that. I'll find out one day. I don't need to know right now.
I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll get there eventually.
You fucking Russian assholes. Like, not Russian, but fucking impatient assholes. I meant rush as in like rush hour, not fucking Russian. Bitch, why you Russian? Fucking impatient assholes is who that is.
Yeah.
But I want to know. You'll find out.
Yeah. We're all going to find out.
Chill the fuck out, man.
Eventually, we're all going to find. And maybe that'll be another one of those perceptions of reality.
Yeah.
I heard that you don't want to go to the white light.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I heard. I heard that when your old family members show up and they're like, follow us to the white light, that you need to just haul off and slap grandma right across the face and tell her, I ain't going to that fucking white light. You can kiss my ass. And you turn around and run the other direction, or float or swim or whatever it is.
Yeah. I'm probably going. Sorry, I'm not testing that one out. Fuck that.
I don't know where I heard that, but I heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to go because they're trying to trick you.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
depends. It depends on who it is, I guess.
Yeah. So if it's my first dog, Max, he's like, ruff, ruff. I'm like, all right, buddy. It's been a while. Let's go.
See, my first dog was this pit bull named Snapper.
Yeah.
And I'd probably go the other direction. He wasn't the greatest dog.
Yeah.
I remember he stepped.
Well, that's how you knew he would
stepped
be
in
telling
my
the
mouth
truth.
one time.
You what?
He stepped in my mouth one time.
Nuts.
Which hurt because his claws got all up in my side of my gums and stuff.
Yeah. I had to fight my dog for a pizza one time.
Literally?
Yeah, I had a pizza, cheese pizza, just for me. I set it on the ground, put the box down, right? Got a movie ready, got that. I was like, ooh, I need something to drink. Went in the other room, got a Coke, came back. My dog is like eating the pizza. And I start to reach, and he goes, "Rrr," and starts doing it. And then and then he kind of snaps at me a couple times. Then I push him, and he snaps at me again. So then I close the thing, and me and him are like in a full-on fight now over this fucking pizza. That I just get I slap him a couple times, and he's pissed at me, and I'm pissed at him, and we're fucking fighting. So he's kind of like getting at me, and I'm like, "Come on, bitch, this is my fucking pizza." But like he didn't like sink teeth, but he definitely grabbed that was his thing. Like don't get me wrong, he left some marks. I'm sure some of these pansies out here that if he had bit them, they would make me put him down. I'm like, hey, he didn't even sink his teeth in.
Yeah.
He just grabbed a hold of you to let you know, like he's in control, right? So yeah, like he did that a couple times. I fucking slapped him a couple times, and then finally I go get a broom and fucking slam the thing down. I just kind of like tap him a couple times, and he just I'm like, all right, it's over. And then I go, I don't even know why I'm fighting you. I'm not going to eat this fucking pizza that you've like slobbered the fuck all over. So then I just open it up and just let his fat ass eat the whole damn thing. Just pissed.
Oh my God. You let him win. I would have ate it. I would have ate it right in front of him with the slobber on it.
I don't know why. I shared food with that dog when I was little. Like, fucking, here. Like, it didn't matter.
No.
At that point, me and him both were just pissed at each other.
Oh my God, dude. No way. I'd have beat the shit out of that dog.
I was young. I was pretty like like I said, it was a fight where like we probably weighed about I don't know if we weighed about the same, but it was damn close.
How old were you?
I don't know. Maybe I was in like 4th grade, something like that.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, you were little.
Yeah, I mean, it was enough where he would grab a hold of me, it hurt, and he'd leave marks. And like I said, I'd fucking...
What would you do if that happened in this situation today?
Oh, like if if I was fighting a dog over a pizza?
Yeah.
Oh, I would fucking like take my hand and just grab it by the throat and slam it on the ground. Just one good time and just like grab its mouth and look dead in its eyes and be like, back the fuck off. Because I've done that to dogs that aren't mine, and they back the fuck off. I don't slam them on the ground, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm not fucking DDTing these things, but if one gets aggressive with you...
I'm going to tell you a story.
I was actually going to say, I was like, you're all's old dog. I had to grab it one time.
Oh, Jetta?
Yeah.
So, supposedly, Jetta only liked quite a tiny amount of men.
Yeah.
She was not a very big fan of the dudes.
She dealt with me, except the time, like I said, she was attacking my dog, and it was because my dog stepped on her foot and it broke off a nail. I don't know how my dog did it, but it broke a nail off of hers, and she flipped out. I mean, she's like going at my dog, and I grab her by the throat and just kind of like boom, and then now she's pissed at me. And then she kind of like tries to like bite my hand, and I grab her collar and I just fucking twist the shit out of it, which is now choking her because I'm just trying to get her to stop and settle down. So like the more she's lunging at me, the harder I'm fucking twisting this collar until she just stops. And then she settles down. I just slowly let go. I kind of pet her. We're cool.
Yeah, the first time I went over and hung out at her apartment, like she went into the back room and I was like sitting out in the living room, and she comes back out in the living room a little bit later, and I have Jetta just like chilling on my like lap, just like laying there with like her head on my lap. I'm petting her.
Yeah.
She's like, she doesn't do that with anybody. Like, and she's letting you do that with her. And that was how I won my wife over.
Nice. That was a lot sweeter of a story than mine. Mine, I'm like sitting there going like, damn, was that animal abuse? I'm like, no, she was trying to kill my dog.
But the other thing that I originally thought of was when I was in high school, there was a friend of mine who had this little fucking runt of a dog.
Yeah.
This tiny little dog. And every time I would go over to his house, literally every time I'd go to his house, this dog would come over to my leg, because we had dogs in my house too.
Yeah.
Come over to my leg and just start humping the shit out of my leg.
Yeah.
And would not stop. And I was just not in a good mood one day, and he came over and started doing that shit again, and I was like, fuck it, it's on. And I jumped up off the couch, and it like kind of stumbled back away from me, right? And I just reached down real quick and grabbed it by its two hind legs and started like air humping it in the back. Like all the way across the living room into the dining room. Just, you like that? You like that?
Yeah. Taste your own medicine.
And I finally let it go, and it went running and hit underneath the kitchen table, and it just hit on it. The rest of the time I was there, it hit underneath the kitchen table and would not come back out. And dude, but I tell you what, from that time on,
Never did it again.
every time I went over my buddy's house, that dog would leave me the fuck alone.
Right. Oh God, that's funny. You were making me think of like the couple times I've had dogs hump me, but it's like I fucking didn't do that. Of course, one of them was like it was some random stray dog that like I was younger, like middle school, and it jumped up on me, and I was like petting it, and all of a sudden I just see that back end start to like pulsate. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And my uncle's just like, I think he likes you. I'm like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
But
Got that red rocket starting to pop out.
fucking lipstick.
Dude, do you think? I know we even titled an episode of the previous podcast, a previous episode of this, but do you think that Bigfoot has a red rocket? Or do you think it's more like just an uncircumcised dude?
Interesting. You would think with all the hair it would be more red rocket-ish, but I feel like things that are on four legs tend to do the red rocket, because horses are kind of that way too.
Right.
It's like in there, and then all of a sudden you're like, ah, damn. If I could drag it to the ground, buddy.
Well, it depends. I've seen some male horses that were showers, not growers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? All right, here's the weird one, I feel like, of the animal kingdom, because I've seen this a lot. Fucking cows.
The bulls?
The bulls have a fucking dick in the middle of their, like, it's like, I don't know, like, I feel like it's like higher up on the stomach.
Yeah.
It's not like dick balls, like, area oriented, where
It's
like,
not between the hind legs.
right. But it's like higher up for some reason. And I'm always just like, and it's because when they hike up, they can only hike up so much. Like they're not like a horse, which has like long legs where they can get further up on the saddle.
Right.
But yeah, Bigfoot's dick. Think about it all the time. Speaking of,
God damn.
that was something galloping. That was a deer for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, we just heard something. Literally, I'll go, Bigfoot's dick. Brom, brom, brom. I'm like, damn. Here he comes. He's like, oh, you want to see it? You want to see it, big mans? No, I don't want to see it.
It's got to come up the steps.
Yeah. We can
feel
make
like-
it inside the house.
We could probably get into the house before he gets up the steps.
Get weaponized.
I'll throw the basketball hoop at him.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I'm throwing my computer. Fucking frisbee that shit.
You'd probably... My imagination starts coming up the steps. I get up to run to the door. You throw your computer and just hits me in the face.
And then you just fall off to the side, and then I just gotta go,
Yeah.
sorry, bro. I'll be back for you.
Just took me out.
Yeah.
Left me as bait. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Find out what it looks like.
Yeah. Take pictures.
Oh, God.
But yeah, it's probably uncircumcised. Definitely uncircumcised.
That's it. All natural.
Yeah. Oh, natural. But you think hair goes up on the shaft? I think it's hairy as fuck.
I'd say about halfway.
Yeah. Half mass.
I'd say about halfway.
Yeah. That sounds about right. What do you think's what do you think's bigger, dick or balls? Think he's got a huge pair of nuts, or
No.
like tucked in nuts with just a giant schlong?
I don't think they're tucked in, but I don't think they're huge either.
Yeah,
Because then they'd get in the way with him running around and shit.
true.
But they're probably proportional.
Yeah,
Probably proportional.
I think that. I could see that.
Maybe a little bit on the smaller side of the nuts.
Yeah,
Because I don't think that he's holding it back.
true. Plus, you got to think the harsh winters, they're going to shrivel. Evolutionary.
Well, you're just dropping loads, man.
Yeah. That is there's a good evolutionary human like nut proportion versus like fire and warmth. Like if you live in like if you're in like colder regions, do your nuts don't hang like you're like God, we're getting into the science of nuts. The elasticity of the balls, obviously, like hotter climates, further you go, like towards the equator, maybe the balls hang further.
Yeah.
But like
you have larger testes, the further
larger
closer
sac
to the
density.
equator. Yeah.
Like because they can hang further, but you wouldn't want them too far because you still got to be active back in the day. And then like size wise, you know, it might actually be the opposite. Like they hang lower, but you don't want them like banging around. But at the same time, like you have larger midsections in the colder climates to keep you warm. So you think the balls might actually be larger.
Sure, dude.
To
For
keep
sure.
warmth.
Yeah. That's what the Dixie line was.
The what?
The Dixie line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Testicle size?
Yeah.
Scrotal density?
No, see what they're talking about is the seam in pants. From the bottom of the zipper down to in between the legs. That's what they used to call the Dixie line. If you lived below the Dixie line, you had balls that hung below the Dixie line. If you live above the Dixie line, you had balls that hung above the Dixie line.
True.
And that's where they drew that line on the continental United States of America.
Yeah.
Was where that separation was of the balls and the seam line of the pants. The Dixie line.
Mm-hmm. God, you're so fucking serious. Like, I was like, at first, I'm like, when you started talking about the seam, I was like, he might be fucking. Like, you had bits where I was like, I could believe that. And then I'm like, no, there's no fucking way.
He's full of shit.
But you started off strong. You had me at the seam of the pants. I was like, damn, that's good. That was good.
Off the top of my head, buddy.
I know. God, we could. If we were like professors at a college, we just went in and just spewed. They just told us, just lie and make shit up. People would totally believe most of it. And then the problem is, though, like we'd go to like write the test. And be like, I don't fucking remember what we said.
No, we'd have to record it all.
Yeah, right, like, yeah.
It would have to. Yeah. It would have to all be recorded, so that we could go back later and be like, "This is on the test."
Dude, that makes me think we should start like The Onion is fake news. We'll do like a fake Wikipedia page where we just write bullshit.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, like I like it. Like it would be a funny ass website, and anyone can change it. Like just add what you want to.
Yeah. Well, that's what. What is that?
Wikipedia?
No, not Wikipedia. The dictionary.
Oh,
thing.
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary. Yeah.
Yeah. I use that so much, especially if it's like there's some term, and I'm like, ah, damn it, I gotta go look what the fuck this meant.
Dude, there's stuff that sometimes I forget how. I don't want to say sheltered, but kind of a sheltered life that like our wives have lived.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, and they're like I'll just reference something, and she'll be like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "You've never heard of that?"
Yeah.
Like, you've never heard of that?
Yeah.
She's like, "No." And I'm like, Well, I don't really want to tell you what that means.
Right. You're like, you don't know what a donkey punch is? I'm not the person to tell you.
I really don't want to explain this to you.
Because you're going to look at me
Especially
differently.
Not in front of the kids either.
Yeah, right.
If you remember, ask me later.
Yeah. Text me when you're on the crapper, and I'll send you the link to the Urban Dictionary.
Right.
Yeah, that's always my favorite is people, is videos when they're like, do not look up, I don't know, like something weird like that. Like, don't look up, like,
I can't do that, dude.
Spaceship.
Every time I see that, that's the first thing I do.
I know, they're like, don't look up spaceship rope. I'm like,
Yes.
fuck me.
What is a spaceship rope?
Yeah. But the funny thing is, I don't put it in Google. I don't put it, because I'm like, I don't need whatever that is about to show me on my, like, history. And I was like, so that's where I go to Urban Dictionary. I'm like,
No, I do. I go.
tiptoe me
You know
into
how you
it.
can go to Google and then you click the images
Yeah.
before you can even search something?
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Google images.
Lemon
Google,
Party. You're like, okay.
And then I'm like,
Like
whatever rope you just said.
Yeah, I was just making. It might be on there. I don't know. I was just making something up. But yeah, Lemon Party.
Lemon Party.
That was the last one where I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop Googling this shit.
Is that something weird?
It's just like a bunch of old dudes banging each other. It's like a big old man orgy,
Oh, old man orgy. Okay.
which sounds better than Lemon Party.
It does. I would much rather go to an old man orgy than a lemon party.
Yeah.
Sounds way more wholesome.
Yeah.
Way more wholesome. Because the lemon party, that makes me think that I'm going to get something squirted in my eye.
Right. All right. There's nothing called the spaceship rope on Urban Dictionary.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna look up spaceship though. That's also a funny thing to do, is just to kind of look up random things. So a spaceship is a fully loaded new car, typically with navigation, DVD, PlayStation, Xbox, television screens, and GPS. Spaceship. Or somebody let their dog out.
Or that's what a spaceship is.
Yeah. You should save that if you could hear it on the mic for the Halloween episode. Or a spaceship is a large cigar gutted and filled with weed, a large blunt. Adam and I brought a big-ass cigar, turned that bitch into a spaceship. Or what you call your car while intoxicated with weed. You're high in a moving car, it feels like you're moving on a spaceship. Or can mean a type of crack pipe. Looks kind of like a small orb of glass with a short stem and a bowl on top of it. Or penis, named for a similar shaped with a spaceship. Or a relationship only existed on MySpace. Or a very, very tight spot that can be hot boxed. A lot of weed oriented with spaceship.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. I feel like I've had a couple spaceships. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, right.
We'll definitely be able to hear that. What are we, coyotes, you think?
Oh, fuck yeah, that was coyotes.
We'll definitely be able to hear that on it.
There was two coyotes, and I think someone's dog is what was irritating them.
Yeah.
Of course, those coyotes will fuck up a smaller dog.
So my son Jack was telling me that the other day he was coming home from work, and it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and comes around the corner, and his headlights hit this corner house in his neighborhood, and he said there was like 10 coyotes just like lounging in the front yard of this house.
Oh, that's creepy.
And he said he like drove past it, and he saw it as he drove past, and he was like, wait a minute, did I just see what I just saw? So he stopped and he backed up and turned his brights on. And yeah, it was like 10 coyotes just lounging in this front yard of this house. And he's like, oh shit. And he drove up to, but I'm like, God damn, can you imagine if that was your house and you like walked out to take your garbage out or something? And there's like,
I mean, they're usually pretty skittish around people, so that's a good thing. But I just, man, with that many, I'd be fucking worried with like small kids and fucking animals.
yeah.
Like, God, I'd go run out there scaring the fuck out of them is what I would do.
Letting off a couple shotgun blasts.
Yeah, whatever. Fucking.
Is it, can you kill a coyote?
Yeah.
Like if one ran up in our backyard, like could I just shoot? Because we've caught them on our cameras.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're endangered. The only thing you get in trouble would be is firing something in the neighborhood.
Right.
I do not think there's like a ordinance against shooting in coyotes. I don't really know at the same time, but I've never heard, like, I know some things are
What
protective.
if I just used my crossbow?
Then no one's gonna know. Just fucking throw it back over the fence.
What if I cooked it on the bonfire?
I don't know if that'd be any good, man.
You don't think it'd be good meat?
Could be. I doubt it though. I thought predator meat doesn't taste as good. Because one, it's leaner. You know, they tend to, maybe they have more parasites and shit like that. That's the thing, like, most people don't realize, like, you gotta, like, boil that shit a little bit.
Was that a Bigfoot singing that we just heard?
Dude, okay. I'm glad you heard it, too. I was sitting there going, like, somebody's singing. Fucking Bigfoot and the Coyotes coming this fall.
Because that was loud as fuck.
It was loud as fuck, and it was just...
And it was echoing through the forest that we have behind us here.
Yeah. You got a wild-ass neighborhood.
All right, so for the listeners, because they don't know,
Yeah.
3 sides of me is surrounded by woods, because I'm at the very end of a cul-de-sac, at the very end of the neighborhood, so it's woods from, you can't see where I'm pointing, but from here all the way around behind where Alex is sitting, all the way over there. And then just like I said, I'm in the very end of the cul-de-sac. So everything on that side where the house is and beyond is neighborhood, but everything on this side is woods. And it's, you know what's on the other side of these woods, Alex?
More houses or some shit?
Narrows Road.
Nice.
The most haunted street in all of Kentucky.
Yeah, it sounds like we're going to bring shit to protect us from coyotes. By the way, I did just put 2 and 2 together, too, if you think about it. We heard the deer galloping that way.
Yeah.
In that direction, where all of a sudden the coyotes howled.
Yeah.
So the deer probably ran into the coyotes or vice versa, and those one coyotes let all the other ones know fucking dinner's ready. And now I would assume the deer got away.
And then what was the Bigfoot singing?
He's just serenading the dinner for the coyotes. But I don't think the coyotes got it, because we would have heard. Because that fucking deer would have fucking let out a horrific noise, I'm sure.
We heard something one night, and it sounded like it was literally right here in our backyard.
Yeah.
Where, like, an untold number of coyotes just started all howling at the same time.
Yeah.
And it woke us up in bed. And we both, man and I both sat up in bed like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on out there?
Yeah.
and it lasted a good 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn, why are they so excited?
Right. Food, man. I feel like someone's feeding them on top of, like, someone's like, oh, look at these dogs, and throwing shit out there on top of them, hunting whatever the hell is out there. It is wild, though.
There's so many things that are around at night. Like, do coyotes eat raccoons?
Fuck yeah. They'd eat anything. Anything they could take down.
So there's so many, like, when I have a bonfire out here in the backyard at night, I couldn't tell you how many times where it's starting to die down. The rest of the family is already back in the house. I'm out there by myself just waiting for it to completely die down so I can go to bed. And all of a sudden I see these bitty little eyes coming around the corner. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, well, now what do I got to deal with? And I always have a big bright flashlight that I have down there with me. And I turn that on like a spotlight. And it's always some big fat raccoon. And it's like from me to you, away from us, from me. And it's just like looks at me like, and then it turns around and goes back through the gate, like back into the woods, like, sorry, buddy.
Yeah. He probably was, could smell the fire. I was trying to get to the warmth. I thought you were gonna say the coyotes. I was like, well, like I said, most coyotes are pretty damn skittish. At least that's what I've always been told. Like, around people, so you really don't got to worry about them too much.
We've caught coyotes several times on our Ring cameras.
Yeah,
I think I've mentioned this. Our entire house is surrounded by Ring cameras,
right?
And but every time we catch them, it's always just one,
right?
And it'll just be like, and then take off back running to wherever it was going,
right?
Like, I haven't seen a whole pack of them.
Right.
Like Jack saw 10 of them.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like, I think I've only seen usually one. Hell, I've one or two here and there, and they're usually single. I've probably seen more foxes than I've seen fucking coyotes.
Well, foxes are so majestic.
Yeah.
They're so beautiful.
They were always on the farm, and we'd always, like, scare them out of fucking tree lines and shit like that.
I just want to have one as a pet.
Right.
I just want to cuddle with it and pet it.
Yeah.
It's so...
You ever seen those videos where
so
someone has
adorable.
it and it like has that like adorable like like weird little laugh and you're like, oh buddy. Yeah. I'm with you.
This is what the sound a fox makes.
Me and these guys at work.
Was that the greatest song that was ever written ever?
What does the fox say? Yeah. It's only second to Gangnam Style.
Dude, Gangnam Style. Dude, you're right. That was probably... It's Gangnam Style. What does the fox say? And then, like, CCR.
Yes. Totally. What was it? I was talking at work, and for some reason we were talking about food, and I go, all right. And the funny thing is, I realized after I just now saying this that how fucked up this sounds, because one of the guys is vegan, but he's like vegan for environmental reasons for the most part, but not like some of the other reasons. But there's a couple of us standing there, and I go, if you could eat one animal like you've always wanted to eat, what would you eat? And like before I could get the question out, one of the new guys goes, fucking panda. I'm like, dude, you said that so quick, like you've been thinking about it all night. Like you think about it every day. I'm gonna get me a fucking panda.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, a panda? Like I would have never thought of a fucking panda. Of course, then I had to make the joke. I was like, what are you going for, the white or dark meat?
That's That's a good question, actually.
Yeah.
What would you eat, Alex?
Probably something that's an asshole, like a kangaroo. Which they do have kangaroo meat tacos at a place that I never got to try. I meant to. I'll tell you one that I actually heard on the Joe Rogan podcast a while back, but after hearing more about bear meat, there's some small black bear that eats blueberries, and its meat is super sought after, and it eats so many blueberries that its like internal muscles have this bluish dyed tint, and it has a very sweet meat like texture. But I've also heard how bad bear meat is for you because it is like riddled with parasites and everything else.
Yeah.
So that's
cocaine.
Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
We need to watch that movie, by the way, and review it.
I know, right?
That's got to happen. That might be coming in the future, Giggity. Or How to Survive Cocaine Bear. But yeah, what would I want to eat?
How to survive cocaine.
Yeah, let's start there. Well, first you got to go down to your local stop, start meeting people, find the cocaine. Yeah, but like animal wise, I don't know, like fucking see, like I don't know, like a shark or something, a whale. I don't know. Koala bear.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. What would you eat?
Mermaid. Siren. Dolphin tail.
Yeah.
Medusa's hair.
Snake. Duckbill platypus. Does it taste like chicken or does it taste like fish?
Probably a little bit. It probably tastes like duck.
Yeah. That's what got all this started. Is my father is obsessed with eating duck.
Isn't that what a duck is?
What?
Chicken with a kazooka as a mouth.
With a kazoo
instead of a beak.
It does taste greasy. I don't know if you've had duck before. It's like fatty and greasy.
Dude, it's good.
Yeah,
we had it before.
We had some over like
kind of tastes like lobster.
No.
No,
nothing about that. I can't even go on board with that. It does not taste like fucking sea scorpions.
I can't do lobster.
No.
The only lobster I've ever had was already the lobster meat.
Yeah.
Like prepared on the dish, ready to be eaten.
Yeah, like it's already in the like lobster bisque or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I've eaten crawfish. I've never actually eaten a fucking bug crawfish. It's like, yeah, just fucking snap them, suck the back, eat the body. I'm like,
no. I can't do that, dude.
Yeah.
No, you're one step away from being a fucking wild animal.
It's great.
You're because if you just ate it raw,
yeah.
Like if you just ate raw crawfish, can you imagine? Raw crawfish,
the fucking shredder of shits from all the shell. Ugh, it'd be nasty.
Do you know what the other name for crawfish is?
What? Fucking poop?
No, dude. What do they call crawfish? It's not crawfish.
Crawdads?
Crawdads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, no. That's just like the fucking roach of the creek.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
It's the roach of the creek. And you're just going to eat that? You're just going to...
Yeah.
The only thing that those things are good for is bait.
Yeah.
When you're trying to catch a bass or a catfish.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I've eaten the crawfish meat, but I haven't actually. I do want to try it. I'm going to try it.
Raw crawfish?
No, you'll
Raw
fucking,
crawfish?
You'll get
Like
sick.
sushi crawfish?
No,
Come on.
no, hell
Let's
no.
do it.
You have fun. Have fun shitting your brains out.
Lose some
I need
weight.
it cooked at least. Dude, I listen to this microbiologist talk about oysters.
It's a diet.
Holy shit. Well, I'm not eat oysters anymore.
I've never ate oysters.
It's like a
Well, no, I'd take that back. One time at Newport on a Levee
yeah.
at the Brio. Is that the name of the restaurant?
I don't know.
Like BRIO.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They had oysters. And I was there with whoever I was dating at the time. And she's like, oh, let's get oysters. They're an aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever. Let's get them. And just looking at them, just looking at them on the plate, I was like, I'm not eating that. And she's like, oh, come on, just try. I'm like, no, I am not eating that. There's nothing about that
Yeah.
that looks like, oh, I should try and eat that.
Yeah.
No, that's what, when I look at that, I think, oh, I should scrape that into the garbage can.
Yeah.
That's what I think when I look at that.
I mean, they are essentially a salty, watery goober
Yeah.
in a shell.
Zero appetizing of that.
Well, you ain't got to worry about the dangers of it. They're fucking bottom feeders, man, and like they filter the ocean essentially, and this is very rare, but it's a possibility that like it has this bacteria that all shellfish or seafood could have, but when you cook it, it kills it, yada yada yada. But these things where you eat them raw, like if you get it, man, it's like you get like the worst flu, and it's like high probability like you won't make it out kind of thing, where it's just like there's no cure for it, and it just comes on quick. But like I said, it's super super rare, but it's just like I've eaten oysters one time, and it was because I never had them. I sat there at a seafood place in the middle of fucking Lexington, Kentucky. I worked next door at a burger joint to the seafood thing, and every night I'd go out to their patio after my shift was over, and I would fucking slam some beers. I would get the bartender to hand me the shot book because they had like a big thick one, and I'd sit there and like thumb through it and just go and my buddy who worked upstairs because it was all like a shopping center, who we were roommates, I'd go through it and go he'd go stop, I go stop, and then we'd look at it, and then I would pick a shot, and that's what we would take, and we would do like 2 or 3 of those and then eat and go home. One night I got oysters. And at first I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try oysters. Then I get them. I'm like, ugh, I got oysters. And I'm like, well, I bought these fucking things. And they were like, you know, $16, $20. I'm like, I got to eat these fucking things. I definitely had to like, they weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. Definitely if you don't chew them, what's the fucking point? Like, they're great when you don't taste them. But I was like dumping horseradish on them, fucking slathering it with the Tabasco, and just like fucking eating crackers with it. And I'm like, yeah, it was all right. I could see where people would enjoy it, but that's probably the first and last time I'm gonna eat those damn things.
No, dude, anything raw out of the ocean,
Yeah.
no way. Anything raw out of the water, period.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's salt water or fresh. That was the other thing I was going to say. Only eat stuff out of the water if it's something local out of the water. If you're in Kentucky, you better be eating freshwater fish. You better be eating some bass or some crappie or some bluegill or some shit like that. Don't be eating no fucking salmon or nothing like that when you're living in Kentucky. Yeah, you eat some catfish out of some blue cats, man.
Yeah.
That's what you eat. when you're on the coast, then you can eat the other shit. You can eat the tuna and all that kind of crazy shit that comes out of you eat the dolphin tails when you're living on the coast.
Yeah.
But not when you're in the interior parts of the country. You need to stick with the freshwater fish that you're eating, because otherwise you don't know what the fuck you're getting. You don't know how long that's been on the back of a truck. And if you're eating that shit and it's not cooked properly and cook all the way, you can definitely get some kind of parasite that's going to turn you into a fucking zombie. And then that's the end of the fucking human race. Do you want to be the cause of the end of the human race?
Yeah.
No, you don't want to be the cause of the end of the fucking human race. Stick to what you fucking know. Stick to the waterfalls that you're used to, God damn it.
True that. No other words have been truer. Just don't go chasing.
On that note, Alex, how can they find us?
You can find us on all social medias. You can find us on Facebook, Soberless Thoughts, on Twitter at Think Soberless. You can find us on Instagram, Soberless Thoughts. We're still working to get a Twitter up, or no, I'm sorry, a Tickamatalk up. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on all things Soberless Thoughts, meanings on all the podcasters. So Google Play, iTunes Music, Spotify, Pandora, maybe even, possibly. I don't fucking know. But word of mouth is still the best way to get a hold of us, to really listen to us. So tell your friends, family, loved ones. If you're out at the ballpark, if you're out just hanging out at the bars, go, hey, I know these two guys. Like, if you're ever at home and you're drinking and you want to feel like you're at the bar without actually going to the bar, tune into Soberless Thoughts.
For sure.
So, if you have any questions, comments that you want to personally tell us, or if you have any ideas on maybe possibly things we should survive this October, you could email us at soberlessthoughts@gmail.com. And I believe that's it. So,
Soberlessthoughts.com.
Soberlessthoughts.com. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I've been rusty. Or you can just go to soberlessthoughts.com and find everything. And it'd be great. We'd love for you to go to our webpage.
Yeah, everything that you just said is all on soberlessthoughts.com.
Right.
What I'm going to say is, if you live in the greater Cincinnati area and you want to come have a beer with myself, just shoot us an email or DM us on our Instagram page, which is just Soberless Thoughts, or shoot us an email at soberlessthoughts@gmail.com and say, hey, let's meet up at X, Y, and G place. Maybe they have excellent Miami Vices, and we should try it out. Let me know. Send me an email, and I'll come hang out, and we'll go drink a beer, and we'll go talk about some conspiracies and aliens and some Bigfoot dick and all the other shit that we want to talk about on the podcast, and we'll just have a grand old fucking time.
Right.
So do that if you live in this local region, and we'll hang out and we'll talk about it. And shit, if you're a cool person, we might even have you on the fucking podcast one day. You don't know.
Yeah.
That's how half of the people that we've had on the podcast previously as guests have become guests on the podcast, is because we just were hanging out with them. We're like, this is a cool motherfucker.
Pretty much.
So when you find yourself in a skillet, you need to stay greasy. No, is that it? Stay
cheesy.
When you find yourself in the skillet, you need to stay cheesy, keep it greasy, and flip on out.
Yeah.
father said that I was holy. My father said that I would burn. My mother said I was an angel. My father said that I would turn. So I believed these words and I turned on myself. Cause maybe he's right, maybe I'm worthless. Or maybe he's wrong and my mother was right. I got a killer in me to give me purpose. I can feel a holy war. I can feel a holy war within. No, I can take a holy war. No, I can take a holy war again. This is what you wanted. I'm gonna bring a letter. I'm gonna bring a letter. You just keep wanting more with your blood and your. I'm gonna bring a letter. I'm gonna bring a letter. It's a beautiful tragedy. You wanna be sick like me? 'Cause I can bring a letter. I was told that I was nothing. Yeah, I was told that I was pure. Yeah, I was told that I was dirty. Yeah, I was told I was the cure. And I asked myself, am I God or shit? Am I the high, the low, I'm fucking worthless? And I asked myself, am I love or hate? You are the reason I have and why I can't quit. I can feel a holy war. Yeah, I can feel a holy war within. No, I can take a holy war. No, I can take a holy war again. This is what you wanted. I'm gonna bring a letter. I'm gonna bring a letter. You just keep wanting more with your blood and your. I'm gonna bring a letter. I'm gonna bring a letter. It's a beautiful tragedy. You wanna be sick like me? 'Cause I can bring a letter. Between and between. Between heaven and hell. Between and between. Between heaven and This is what you wanted. I'm gonna bring a letter. I'm gonna bring a letter. You just keep wanting more with your blood and your. I'm gonna bring a letter. I'm gonna bring a letter. It's a beautiful tragedy. You wanna be sick like me? 'Cause I can bring a letter. Between and between. Between heaven and hell. Between and between. Between heaven and hell. Between and between. Between heaven and hell. Between and I'm in between and between. Yeah.